All right. Hello, everybody. For those who are watching for the first time, my name is Kenneth Johnson. People call me Coach, and this is some of I think my second or third time going live on YouTube. So normally I go live on other platforms like Facebook, um, TikTok, things of that nature. So this is my live presentation. And right now, what I want to talk to you about is something that's a major problem in the United States, especially with African American men and women. Um, Kidney disease is one of the biggest issues in the United States for black men and black women. And one of the reasons, or one of the major reasons, or the major causes of kidney disease is based around diet, the foods that we're eating every single day. Foods of today aren't like foods 50 years ago or even 100 years ago. There's a lot more chemicals and things and additives involved added to it to make it taste better, to make it become bigger, like fruits and vegetables or farm animals. And it's all about major profits, right? So the soil is better. It's not full. It's depleted of a lot of nutritional value or content than what it was 50 years ago, because now it's been stripped. And then we have all these other chemicals, these pesticides, herbicides, and all these things to kill pests so that the foods that's grown from the crops will be less damaging. But at the same time, it's causing them to become even more damaged, and it's stripping the soil of the nutrients that we need in the first place. The water that we drink today, the water isn't as clean as it was years ago. And there's a lot of foods that people would eat today that people ate 100 years ago or 2,000 years ago, things such as fish that aren't the same either. Because the waters, mercury is a major problem in fish. And when that mercury is absorbed through the fish tissues, it becomes something called methyl mercury, which is a more powerful form of mercury and a very deadly. How deadly? It's able to break that barrier of the brain and blood barrier. And that can cause a lot of neurological issues, early stages of dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or if you have fibromyalgia or neuropathy issues, it's going to make those things a lot worse. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, it's going to make that pain a lot worse, have those flare-ups a lot worse. So the diet has been one of the most impactful reasons of causing a lot of problems. Now, even though all those other reasons and issues are some primary causes, the primary cause, let me just restate that, the primary cause of kidney disease is a lack of oxygen in the blood. That's called hypoxia. That's the driving force of kidney disease, and that's backed by science. Now, what causes that, or what are some of the things that can cause that? Again, it goes back to diet. See, I grew up on a farm in South Carolina. My parents left New York when I was like 2 years young, grew up on a farm, and some of the primary foods from that farm was meat. We ate beef, we ate pork, we ate chicken, we ate eggs, we had a lot of dairy, a lot of cheese, we ate some fish. My father used to love his steaks, so at time we have like a lot of different types of foods, and even some wild foods like deer, like rabbit or squirrel or some wild bird, wild game. So these are the foods I grew up on. And unbeknownst to my family and to myself, I also had a lot of issues like food allergies and very bad hay fever. I used to get headaches growing up as a child. And I guess my parents thought the same thing that I thought, that it was all part of, I was born with this. This is something I have to live with for the rest of my life. Maybe one day I'll grow out of it. But for 43 years of my life, I had very bad hay fever, food allergies. I was allergic to peas and beans and even the juice. If the juice touched my lips or touched my tongue, I'm off to the races. I would break out in very bad hives. My lips would swell up, my tongue would swell up, my eyes become red. It was just one of the most horrible feelings you'd ever want to experience. And if you're a person who suffers with food allergies, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right. So I was fearful of My grandmother would make some food sometimes. She would make some rice and make some beans. And sometimes she used that same, well, not sometimes, she actually would use that same spoon that she made the beans with to dip out the rice and put it on the plate. So if I'm visually seeing this, I'll say, no, grandma, it's okay. I don't want any, because I was fearful of what that was going to cause me to feel. So going back to what I was talking about, the topic of the lack of oxygen in the blood is a driving force, the kidney disease. When you're eating foods like a lot of meats, dairy, animal byproducts, things of that nature, these foods have minerals, they have vitamins, they have amino acids, they have a lot of other nutrients the body needs, but they lack the two most important nutrients that we need: oxygen and water. Think about it for a second. What happens when you cook a piece of meat? If that meat had any type of oxygen or any type of water in it, when you put flames to that meat, what happens to the oxygen? Or what happens to that water? The oxygen is going to become used up and the water is going to evaporate. And so you're just eating meat with many other nutrients, but you're not getting the oxygen and the water, which are the two most important nutrients that the body needs. So when you're constantly eating a diet based on that example, a bunch of meat, a bunch of dairy products, eggs, meat byproducts, and you're not eating many fruits and vegetables and legumes and things of that nature, foods that naturally have water and oxygen, things that the body needs, things that your kidneys need, then over a period of time, your body is working overtime to digest these foods, to break these foods down. So now it's not getting any new oxygen or water. It has to pull the oxygen and the water from what's stored inside your tissues, right? So now your body has to work harder. It's like an engine in a car, right? You got a car, you're driving the car. It's got very little water in the radiator or very little coolant in the radiator, but you're driving the car, right? Let's say you're driving going from Florida to California, right? That's about 3,000 miles, probably a little more than that. And you're driving this, just a little bit of water, a little bit of coolant, and now that is used up. What's going to happen to that engine? That engine's going to overheat. There's going to be some warning lights coming on inside the car warning you, saying add water, add coolant, but you're not listening to it, right? You're totally ignoring it and you're still driving. Well, eventually that engine's going to overheat. It's going to shut down, or you're going to crack the engine head and it's going to blow up, right? And then you're going to find yourself on the side of the road. Well, your body is exactly the same thing. So if you're eating foods that have no water, have no oxygen, right? And you're not eating any fruits or vegetables, maybe you're not drinking enough water in the first place, your body starts to overheat. And the result of your body overheating, your kidneys take a hit, because now it has to work a whole lot harder to do what it does naturally. That's detox. That's pull salt out of the body, right? Your kidneys help eliminate uric acid. And now you got issues of your blood pressure increasing. And now you got kidney damage. And all these things are tied together. So diabetes, kidney damage, right? High blood pressure. It causes a domino effect inside the body because there's a lack of oxygen, which also means you're dehydrated. So when you have a lack of oxygen in the body, your kidneys start to fail. And here's the thing about kidney disease. You can walk around for days, for months, and not even know you have it, right? You might go to the bathroom and urinate, and you see all these bubbles, right? All these bubbles in the water. And these bubbles are not going away. They're just like a bunch of suds. And you might not think anything of it until one day you go to the doctor, they run some tests, and they tell you, oh, you know what? You got kidney disease. You got stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3. If you got stage 4, now they're talking about possibly putting you on dialysis. And you're like, oh my God, where did this come from? You didn't feel anything. Or maybe you started feeling small, slight pains in your side of your stomach or in your back. And that's when you went to the doctor and find out you had stage 3 kidney disease or stage 4 kidney disease. And once upon a time, it was thought that if a person had kidney disease or kidney damage of any type, that it was impossible to reverse that. And that was the belief system years ago. But now science has shown that you are able to reverse kidney disease, but you have to follow a particular plan, a particular diet. And the only diet to actually been proven to reverse and regenerate those kidney cells is a plant-based diet. Some people call it a vegan diet, or more directly, a raw vegan diet or a raw plant-based diet, because that diet is the only diet that has 100% of water and oxygen plus the other nutrients your body needs. I mean, you consume that on a daily basis, drinking some water, getting some exercise, and sticking solely to that plan, you can actually reverse your kidney disease. How do I know? Because it's happened. I've helped several people, including one of my own relatives, reverse kidney disease. And it happens in as fast as 12 to 60 days, depending on how strict you follow the plan. I had a cousin who lives in Philadelphia. Her name is Sylvia Johnson. True story. I found out that she was in the hospital on Facebook, and her daughter made a post saying her mother's in the hospital, pray for her. And I found that out. I called my cousin up. When I called her, I was on the phone. I spoke with her. I said, "Cuz, what's going on?" She said, "Cuz, they want to put me on dialysis." She said, "I don't want to be on dialysis." She said she felt so depressed because the doctors took her to the ward where they have these people hooked up to machines, and she saw this. She became very, very depressed. She said, "I don't want to be on dialysis." And the doctor would not discharge her from the hospital unless she either got on dialysis or unless she had a plan of some sort. So I said, "Cuz, do not let them put you on dialysis. I got a plan for you." So right there in the hospital, her daughter, I sent her daughter a smoothie recipe. So her daughter went to the store, got all the nutrient, the things she needed to make the smoothie, came back, and right there at the hospital, put her mother on the smoothie. And then the doctor discharged her. She told the doctor she had a plan. They discharged her. They probably thought she was crazy. Long story short, she followed my program. 21 days after she was discharged from the hospital, she went back to the doctor. They ran every single test. And she said, "Cuz, you know what? They ran the test." And then I asked them, "Hey, doc, how's my numbers?" She said the doctor didn't say anything. She said they act like they didn't want to tell me what my numbers were like. She said he left the room and went out and got another doctor so he can look at the numbers, look at the blood work. And she asked the doctor again, say, "Doc, no, how's my numbers?" And the doctor said to her, you are no longer a candidate for dialysis. What did you do?" See, they had never seen anything like that before. They expected her to be a dead woman walking, because literally they told her while she was in the hospital she had 14% kidney function and that she was going to die unless she got on dialysis. So that's one of the scariest things a person wants to hear. And scary, you're being put on dialysis, having to use this for the rest of your life, and you're still considered to be a young person. But the doctor told her, "You got 14% kidney function, and you are going to die unless you get on dialysis." So when she got discharged, like I said, of course, the doctors probably thought she was crazy. But 21 days later, they came back and said to her, "You are no longer a candidate for dialysis." What did you do? She had turned that around. Now, this was back in 2017. And from that point, from that testimony, when I shared it on Facebook, I got other people who started reaching out to me. "Hey, I saw your cousin's testimony, and they was telling me they got kidney disease also." So I devised the plan, put them on the exact same plan. I think I made a few minor adjustments. I added a water plan in there also, because my cousin wasn't doing the water plan. That's added to it, but made a few minor adjustments, added the water plan to it. And the lady, her name is Janelle Wright. Janelle Wright purchased my plan also. The doctors were saying that you may have to get on dialysis. You may have to get a kidney transplant. And so she was scared also. She's in her 40s. Doesn't want to be on dialysis, don't want to have a kidney transplant. She purchased my plan, and she used the plan for 60 days. Here's what happened. She went back to the doctor. The doctors were blown away. They said the same thing to her that they told my cousin. You no longer need dialysis. You no longer need to be considered as having to get a kidney transplant. And they asked her, what did you do? Again, they never seen this before. Now, what did she do differently? She used a program that was based on oxygen and water-rich foods. She cut out all animal products, and she followed the guideline that I had for her. I gave her a smoothie plan, gave her a water plan, gave her a grocery shopping list, and gave her a 30-day meal plan. So everything was based on plants. Everything was giving her options on what she could have for breakfast, what she could have for lunch, what she could snack on, what she could have for dinner. If she didn't want one thing, she had a ton of other options also. At the same time, it educated her on what alkaline foods are and what acidic foods are. So now it educated her. It's like going to college. While being on the program, she was learning how to eat differently and learning what foods are the best foods in the plant world. And as a result, she also dropped almost 50 pounds. And she had brown discolorations on her eyes. Those brown discolorations went away. Her hair started growing, become fuller because her kidneys were impacted. Her body was, her skin was becoming messed up. Her hair was falling out. She had brown spots on her eyes, and her skin was a little dark. She's a light-skinned woman, but her skin was darker. Once she started doing the program, all that turned around, and she still does the plan to this day. And again, her name is Janelle Wright. She's another customer of mine. And when I put that post on my Facebook page, oh my God, it just blew up. Everything just took off because Janelle Wright is a well-known person in this part of Florida and also in Georgia. She had a lot of family. So her family members saw that. And I had one of her cousins, I think it's a cousin, told me to my face, she said, you know what? She said, we watch Facebook and we see all these testimonies, all these things that we don't believe is true. We think it might be a scam. She said the only reason why I believe what you say is because she knows Janelle. Janelle's her cousin. And when Janelle gave her testimony and said her kidney disease had been turned around, she was a believer. And it's good when you have people like that who know other people, because that makes what you're saying true. People don't have to second guess, oh, is this thing real? Is this a scam? No. So she said, only reason why I'm dealing with you is because I know Janelle. And when I saw that, it made her a believer. So there are a lot of people out there who do scams, right? Let's just talk about it. A lot of people out there is all about the money, right? It sounds good. It looks good. You get excited. And next thing you know, you pull out your credit card, debit card, you pay for it. You just get ripped the heck off. How do I know? Because I got ripped off a couple of times. I fell for a scam that looked good and sounded good. I put my card in there. I had to cancel my card and get a new card because I got scammed. And it's not a good thing, but it didn't stop my belief as far as knowing that there are real businesses, real people online who got real results, real testimonies, and they actually do what they say they do. And I thank God that I'm blessed. I'm one of the people who fall into that category. So if you're a person who has kidney disease or have high blood pressure or diabetes, because they're all, it's a domino effect. If you have kidney disease for a long period of time, then it can affect your heart, your blood pressure. If you have heart issues, it can affect your kidneys. And like I said, it's a domino effect. They are first cousins. Kidney disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes all are connected. So when you take care of one thing, you can actually take care of the other. And that all comes down to you changing the foods you're eating, drinking a particular type of water, right? There are waters that are alkaline, but there are waters that are more alkaline than other waters. So when you work with me, you get an entire program. It's an entire package. So that's what I do to help people. But as far as this live presentation, I just wanted to share with you what causes kidney disease in the first place. So one of the things that causes kidney disease, one of the most impactful thing, again, is diet. So if you got kidney issues or you're concerned about that, if you're on medication, there's some things you've got to do. One, you've got to stop eating meat. You got to get off the meat family. You can't, and meat includes fish also. I don't care what the medical industry is telling you, but you have to stop eating meat because meat just puts more pressure, more strain in your kidneys to function because meat lacks water and lacks oxygen. Your kidneys need water, but they need oxygen more than anything else. And so if you have kidney disease, that means you have a low level of oxygen, low levels of oxygen in your blood. That's the bottom line. So when you change that and you're consuming foods that have a lot of oxygen, a lot of water, you reverse kidney disease. It's really that simple, but you have to be willing to commit to a program, commit to a lifestyle that's going to help you do that. So if you're struggling with that issue and you want to turn it around, if you need help with that, you can leave a comment after I log off, a comment on this video, or you can reach me directly through my email address, and I'll put that here. Matter of fact, if you don't see it, I'm pretty much new to the YouTube lives, but I'll just tell you what it is right now. My email is virtualfitness360@gmail.com. Virtual fitness, FITNESS, at virtualfitness360@gmail.com. You can email me. Let's have a conversation. I'll show you some real testimonies, real people you can actually reach out to and talk to and ask questions, and they'll share their story with you because there is hope. Dialysis does not have to be your future. Kidney implants, a kidney transplant does not have to be your future. Because once you get the kidney transplant, you're going to have to be on meds for the rest of your life, period. And those meds suppress your immune system, which causes other problems, other issues. And you have to do that every single day for the rest of your life. And if you're not changing your diet, if you don't stop doing the things that cause the kidney disease, the kidney failure in the first place, even after the kidney transplant, if you're still doing the same thing, you can wind up being in the same situation you are right now, looking for another kidney transplant. And here's the thing. The first one might be successful, might have been successful. The second one, you might not make it. You might not be in position to get one. So don't play Russian roulette with your life. It's time to make the right decision so that you can win. So that's it. I want to thank you all for watching. If you got any questions, comment below. Contact me. You can find me on Facebook, on TikTok, even on Instagram. But contact me. Let's have a conversation. It's your time to win. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Now let me see if I know how to end this video. Like I said, this is I'm not too, okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna have to do this a lot more often.